Easy now, no need to go down. Rock that run, that's where we're from. Whoop whoop when you run, come around. Cause now you're the talk of the town, yeah. Now you're the talk of the town, yeah. Now you're the talk of the town. Whoop whoop when you run, come around. Whoop whoop when you run, come around. Cause now you're the talk of the town, yeah. Whoop whoop when you run, come around. Easy now, no need to go down. Just walking gently and you're breaking a bone. Cool NVDA, you have a style of your own. The saxophone, there's a sound at the top of the tone, yeah. I'm a record when you run, come around, yeah. Make a move, make me whole body bubble. Let me know, say you're trouble when you're ready for the bubble. And you hit that, nothing, 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐼𝐿. Play with it 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐼𝐿. Why you're so not tickle? I'm telling you to hit that, nothing, 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐼𝐿. Stay with it 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿. Why you're so not tickle? I'm feeling them.
Wait up.
When you run, come around. When you run, come around. Cause you're the talk of the town. When you run, come around. When you run, come around. Easy now, no need to go down. Easy now, no need to go down. Walking gently and you're breaking around. Whoop whoop when you run, come around. Cause now you're the talk of the town. Whoop whoop when you run, come around. Cause now you're the talk of the town. Whoop whoop when you run, come around. Cause now you're the talk of the town. Now you're the talk of the town. Now you're the talk of the town.
Yo, what is up, guys? It is Monday and it is chaos. Absolute chaos in markets. Holy crap, where do we even start? Bitcoin falling down to almost last year's levels. Looking at the S&P 500 stocks, absolutely decimated, opened down again about 4%. We've seen a nice whipsaw. There was some kind of rumor. We can probably talk about that. Some kind of rumor here earlier. The markets jumped for a second, kind of sold back off, still sitting at about a minus 1% for the day after, just an onslaught of down, right? Zooming out. 2021's highs basically tapped here for the stock market. January of 22, 4,818. It traded to like 4,830. I don't know, within just like 0.2, 0.3%. Kind of wild times. We have never, or I have never seen the stock market act like this outside of COVID. Like COVID, was that the last time we saw anything like this? I think there's a lot of similarities here. This is the COVID crash. Basically, we saw a peak all-time high fall down, a very short-lived weak dead cat bounce down into the lows, basically seeking out a bottom. And that really kind of hits it for this price action as well. Let's take a look here at today. We see the all-time high, a fall, a very weak dead cat bounce, and boom, we are falling still. So is the bottom in? Or do we have further to fall? Of course, nobody knows the answer for sure. What I do know though, fam, is that we're going to be okay. Take a deep breath today. Don't make decisions in trading when you are panicked or when you are euphoric. And I'm going to guess you're a little bit panicked today. So take a deep breath, relax. It'll be here tomorrow. I know it feels like it might not be, but I promise it will be here tomorrow. So what kind of maybe things on this chart, just looking at stocks, would we say maybe we do have a bottom, or maybe at least somewhere we're going to look for a bigger bounce? I think we're right here, guys. Back at the previous all-time high, resistance coming down, testing it as support. Basically, if we don't find a bounce here, things get very, very strange, right? Connecting our lows out of the last bear market, we can see that kind of intersects where we are now. Very unusual. I think that's kind of the gist. That's the gist of it. It's unusual. We don't see these moves very often. COVID really is kind of the last time we saw anything like this. The last bear market, nothing like this. You might have to go even farther back. I haven't done that homework to find something. So they call it a dead cat bounce because things fall so hard that they say anything will bounce if it's basically falling fast enough or falling hard enough. And stocks are falling like the COVID crash. So I think we're going to find a bounce at some point. I probably put my money on. I don't know if I put my money on it, but I think we're going to see some kind of relief here soon. Things can't just trend in one direction forever, indefinitely. And the stronger they do, the more likely I would say they are to reverse. And I think that is kind of the silver lining. So looking back on Bitcoin, things not looking so great either. I know we started with stocks, but we're just trying to get the bigger picture here. Bitcoin today, or basically last night when today started, the Monday candle, our death cross finally here and exactly on time. April 7th. We've been looking at this date, I don't know, for the last 2 weeks or so, exactly on time. And we have talked about this event and what we might expect when we see it. So the overall summary of what we have been talking about, we've done whole videos on this. The kind of quick notes on it is that we have seen this daily death cross every year in this bull market so far. And I want to say this isn't even the first time that we have had the death cross on the day in this bull run. And people started talking about the bull run being over, started using that rhetoric of the bull run's done, it's over, blah, blah, we'll come back in 4 years. It's kind of interesting because when you go back and look at just last year, there was some very similar talk around this exact same signal. This is just after the low in August. In this example, the low had been in about 3 days earlier, and we rallied pretty quickly back to those levels, back to the 200 daily moving average off of a low of 49,000, just below 50K. People were talking about the bull run being over then too. It's very interesting, the timing and the sentiment kind of associated with these. If we go back again, so we had one in 2024, we have one now in 25. We go back to 23, we see one more time. We had a death cross on the day. At this point, this one perhaps, fingers crossed, looking more similar to the price action we see today, with the death cross happening and the low literally being the candle where the death cross confirmed. So you've had one in 23, or now in 25. Let's pray. Let's take a moment to pray that we're going to be looking at something like this in 2023, and that the low maybe is even in today. We can expect maybe some sideways, some grinding before moving higher, seeing that golden cross paint and things returning to normal. That's some good hopium, right? At the moment, I'm not sure why we would really dismiss it and say this is just in the realm of hopium, when literally we have seen this every year of the bull run. Here we are again. I don't know. I remain bullish. The world around us seems to really be testing that, but I remain bullish here. We have now, actually, no, we still haven't. We still haven't tested March's high. We have not come back to 473, 74K. We have traded as low today as 74.4. So we're really close. Let's add on our lines here. Coming really close to that March all-time high. Just about 1% off, man. If the low is not in today, still looking 71.2 to about 74K, potentially a solid place to look for a position. Man, things are on discount. Alts are getting brutalized still, I believe. Yes. Yesterday, Bitcoin dominance climbed, breaking past about multiple weeks, multiple months highs today, putting in a 64%, just shy of 64.3. And in fact, man, we could see a new cycle high on dominance even today if Bitcoin, especially if it falls any lower. Unfortunately, similar to February 3rd when we saw our cycle high break on dominance, to today we are seeing Bitcoin USD, or the value of Bitcoin, fall while dominance rallies. So that falls in line. We're really hoping to see that kind of invert, where dominance would rally and so would the price of Bitcoin, because that is what we have seen since basically alts began getting wrecked. Since this bull market began in 22, we have seen dominance rally with Bitcoin price. And so not the greatest. I mean, I don't love to see USD value of Bitcoin fall while dominance rallies, but I guess we'll take it one way or another. We have been waiting, looking, wishing for somewhere higher on dominance forever, it seems. It's funny. Have you guys noticed? Maybe this is just me. There's a lot of people, I feel like, who think Benjamin Cohen invented Bitcoin dominance or something. I feel like if I post about Bitcoin dominance now, people are like, you're just copying Benjamin Cohen. It's like, I mean, he certainly popularized it. Great analysis on it. Had a very solid last few years with it. But like, I think there are people who think he invented it, like that no one had ever followed it until they heard Benjamin Cohen talk about it lately. I don't know. We've been looking for this for quite some time, and man, I still think we're in the same scenario. I think we are yet to see our dominance blow off top, sell off, and enter into alt season, and that's when the bull market gets extra spicy. So I think there is still spice ahead of us, and I think dominance is still signaling it. Actually, a correlation between Bitcoin dominance and price. Yeah, it's going down, of course. Wait. Yeah, because dominance is going up, price is going down. That makes sense. I almost got tripped up there for a second. I'm going to turn over to the chat in just a sec, but really quick, man. Holy crap. Ethereum, you are just nuked. 1,410. Holy shit. We've been kind of bearish. Or no, I'll finally just say it. We've been bearish on Ethereum. We've been bearish on Ethereum on this channel for a while, despite holding a greater or more broad bullish stance for the crypto space. You saw me short Ethereum at 4K. You saw me sell spot last year, the year before at 4K. And man, I will admit I did not expect to see Ethereum really move this far down. This is lower than I expected. This is getting into dangerous territory. zoom out here a little bit, this has actually broken below all of 2024. We are now seeing about mid 2023 prices here on Ethereum, and the next support maybe sits at 1200. Set all the way down here from the beginning of 2023. Well, why did we know, or why did we expect to be bearish on Ethereum? It's not a secret. BTC has not given us even an inkling of hope for this pair. Certainly did not predict the fall of the entire market, but did not give us any confidence in ETH being the place to park our value. We have seen this bleed over the like almost 2-3 years now. Bleed and bleed and bleed and bleed, and just continuously hit supports, bounce a little bit only to break them, trade lower, and man, our calls for 0.179 or 0.18 looking a lot more likely than they ever did before. I may look to layer back in a little bit of the Ethereum I've sold over the last few years at the 0.179. I've told you guys that for a while now. I'll probably do it, even if it's just rebuying 5%, like something really almost meaningless, just a little bit, because that is the way I like to trade. I like to wade in and out, kind of as the currents and tides move in and out. I like to be that rock in the middle where I don't move, everything else moves, and I kind of just let it come to me. So I may begin there. The big problem is that if Ethereum loses that support, and maybe that's even why I'm buying it, because I don't want Ethereum to nuke more. It already nuked, double nuke, right? If it loses that support, there is very little below it. You can see here, Ethereum really didn't trade below 0.18 since the 2017 bull run. If you lose that support, man, you're going maybe sub 0.1, and who knows? We have seen many coins from this era basically follow this path down in a similar sell-off all the way to new all-time lows. And I do not want to be holding the bag if that happens. Hell no. So I'm going to have to think about it. I'm going to have to put some thought into my strategy, because it's coming true much faster than I might hoped or might have thought would happen. Here, hold up one sec. Let me turn some tunes back on. Got through the beginning of this. I did want to comment. So the craziness, the volatility in the stock market, to my knowledge. So this morning, apparently there was a rumor. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to pull up the chat now. If I'm not quite on base, correct me here. But apparently there was a rumor that Trump was going to pause tariffs for 90 days. I admit, even I thought that was real when I heard it earlier this morning. Apparently that was fake news. And basically the stock market had the green bouncy candly time over that period, or when people in between the fake news rumor and then the White House, I believe, came out and said that is not real. And as soon as they did, stocks began sliding again. I do believe, though, after this fake news had been cleared, Trump did state that he was going to impose an additional 50% tariff on China effective April 9th. Is that the fake news? Dude, it is so hard to just keep up with this shit. Like, it is so confusing. They're just every day, there's a new thing about tariffs. There's a new fake rumor thing about them that gets correct. Like, I don't even know what reality is anymore. I don't know what to believe at this point. Trump defended his stance on tariffs. Basically this, guys. So stocks bounced on this. Let me see if you guys are going to correct me here. Darren, me too. Exactly, dude. I don't even know. Michael Saylor, only Bitcoin, buddy. Michael Saylor, buy some Bitcoin. Buy some Bitcoin, Michael Saylor. Do it. Bitcoin's down like 30% from its all-time high. You keep buying billions when it's at all-time high. Buy it when it's down 30%. Do something useful. He paused the delayed takeover of TikTok. True. Okay, so no one's saying I'm wrong. So it's about to get liquidated now. That's not a real thing, honestly. So this is kind of what we're going on. We had a little bounce here on this fake news, right? And you look at the chart, and it really just kind of looks like a chart filling in a chart, filling in the gap. This was off maybe the promise or the thought that tariffs would be delayed 90 days. Here's the issue. If the White House comes out and says, actually, just kidding, we are doing that, right? And stocks move up. That is not in any way how you get back to an all-time high. Okay? You pause for 90 days. You quote me here. If that happened, here's what we would see on the charts, right? You'd probably see this. This. You would see a lower high that gets rejected. You'd essentially just have a dead cat bounce, a failed rally. You would likely summon a real bear market, like a longer term bear market with something like that, because delaying them doesn't do anything. It doesn't affect, it has no effect. It just makes markets more uncertain with a new date in mind, and likely that is how you get a faded recovery, like a rally that doesn't sustain. I honestly think that would be dumb. I was glad to hear that it was a rumor, that it was fake news. I was glad. I was like, oh my God, dude, if you're going to do the tariff thing, you can't just flip-flop it. You can't do it the next day, 90 days from now, no, now it's a week from now it's 10 months from now, it's 1 month from now. No, if you're going to do it, just do it, because all you're going to do is introduce more uncertainty by delaying or changing or whatever. So I'm glad that is the case, because I don't think that would be a very bullish scenario or a very bullish outcome. We saw a lot of turbulence, but here we are again. Like, look at these candles, guys. It just looks straight up like COVID. Check USDT dominance. Okay, we can check that. We'll check that for you, Darren. Kind of comforting to me, but not super logical here. Gold trading lower. Gold trading lower while stocks trade lower. And I believe the dollar, okay, the dollar's bounced a little, 1%. Let's see what it's up off its low, 2%. The dollar's bounced 2%, but gold is down, stocks are down, Bitcoin is down. And gold looks like it's about to lose support, like today. Gold was really performing strong as a store of value, risk hedge, whatever. Maybe not. Dude, this is a pretty savage, sell-off for gold. You really broke market structure on what? This is Sunday's candle? That's an odd candle for gold. Sunday. Broke market structure. Okay, I guess that wasn't Sunday. I don't really understand that. How is it Sunday here and then Monday when I go to the day? And then there's no Sunday daily candle. Whatever, doesn't matter. Pretty savage. Pretty savage here. Gold trading lower. I don't know. I'm not sure how to to read that. It made sense as it was climbing and everything else was falling, because it's like, okay, this is like the certainty, the risk off kind of thing, the fleeing to more stable assets, and now gold's going down too. I don't know. Gold being sold to cover margin in mass. Interesting. So maybe gold, not so much the store of value in uncertain times and risk off. I don't know. Doesn't really make sense. I mean, I get it. I get it being used as collateral to cover margin. But also, why? Why is it? I feel like that doesn't need to happen, maybe. CME left a gap above us on Bitcoin here over the weekend. Very small gap that was mostly filled in already. It still sits 81.4 to 81.9. And here's kind of the important factor about this one CME gap, is it is the only CME gap above price. Oh, wait. I may be wrong. There could be a little bit right here. That was true. Yep. So you traded down. You went up. You closed here. Actually, that's technically the gap, because market price closed Wednesday here, then opened lower. That is a gap down. So we actually have a gap all the way up to 87.3. Maybe I haven't been paying enough attention to this. That was filled. Nothing behind it. Okay, so we have two gaps. I was wrong. I misspoke. There's two gaps above us. This is the first day that we've significantly traded below the 200 daily moving average on Bitcoin CME. Bitcoin CME, a little bit of a different tale here when it comes to the death cross. It actually didn't have a death cross in 23, nor did it in 24. It's pretty far away still in 25, but if that does happen here in this year, probably a greater macro kind of bearish signal, mainly because it didn't happen on spot. It's fine because it happened every year on the way up. We've already kind of cleared that here on CME. We haven't had that happen. I guess just removing the weekend trading has that big of an impact on this chart to make them totally uncrossed. Man, that's like potentially a while away. If price does not recover at all indefinitely and basically just trade sideways and down, we can expect CME to give us that signal about halfway through May. May 12th, May 15th, something like that. Why did the music stop? Or it didn't stop? Just quiet. Good. Perfecto. There we go, boys. There we go. All right, let me read the chat. What's going on? Selling the winners? True. What's up, Julie? How you doing, Julie? How have your streams been, my darling? Julie has been live streaming on YouTube. You guys should check her out when you have time. Bull market of 2024 was fun. God, if Bitcoin's all-time high was just in 69 to 109, man, it's gonna make me mad. I'm be mad. I don't believe it yet. I don't believe it yet. I think we honestly, at the beginning of the episode, I talked about the death cross, and I think it's spot on, man. Right here, we've had death cross every year on the way up. And if you go back and look at them, last year's death cross when we broke 50,000 after trading to an all-time high in March, people were saying the same things. They were saying, bull market's over. Back here, August of 23, we had fallen from 31 down to 20s, and people said, haha, the bull market didn't start. I told you, we're going sub 10 still, blah, blah, blah. It seems like each year we have had this event where we see the death cross happen. Sentiment just so happens to be Pico bottom low, and we've gone up. I'm praying that's what we still have here today. This drawdown very close, very, very close now at 31.7%. Still slightly, ever so slightly less than last year's 33.6% drawdown. So this is still a smaller drawdown than last year. A lot of perspective, a lot to keep in mind here. One thing I do want to look at, and I hope I don't see what I might see here. Okay. 50 weekly, I really like to hold this level. So we can trade down to March's high of last year, but I need to feel comfortable and cozy in my own mind. I need to see this week close above 77. It's really 69.3. The 50 weekly, we have tested it as support on the way up. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh man, my allergies are bad. We tested it on the way up as support. Basically, when we retook it in March of 23, this is likely when you could really consider the bull market started. Obviously, we consider it back here, but you can say more like confirmation when we retook the 200 week or the 50 weekly. We never traded below it. I'd really like to not see us lose that. Basically, in the last bull market, we tested it. When we closed below it, and that was in July of 21, we went on to one final high, and that was it. That was all she wrote. That was all she wrote. Not a good sign. Not a good sign at all to close below this 50 week. So 77 by Sunday night is my target. But that's actually not what I came over here to look at. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, good. Watching this weekly Ichimoku cloud. By the way, I know I told you guys I would publish that Ichimoku cloud video last week. I forgot. We'll publish it this week. If you're not familiar with the Ichimoku cloud or our free educational playlist, make sure you're subscribed, have alerts on, keep an eye out for that probably tomorrow. I'm waiting for this weekly cloud to twist because this week, or the week Ichimoku cloud, the weekly Ichimoku cloud, has given us every run that I've watched, every bull market. It has given us an early warning of the coming bear market. So this twist happens, I think it's 26 bars early. So you could say back in January of 22, the Ichimoku cloud signaled the bear market was coming. Maybe could have been a good signal to get out. In, September 26. March of 2018, same thing. So I'm keeping my eyes peeled for this cross again. Whenever that happens, I think that is going to be the signal for me to start looking to take some profit for the next cycle, but that has not happened yet. Good. Nice. Also kind of interesting here, we're at the daily death cross. Look over here. It's interesting the kind of parallels now we have with this consolidation period from last year. On this candle, August 5th, right here on the week, this is also where the death cross happened. We hit this low, death cross happened, low is in. But on the week, we had our cross down of our K, J, and TK. You can see that about to happen here. If nothing happens in this weekly candle, basically we will see those cross down next week. And it's interesting, the timing. There's a lot of parallels between August 5th and right now. I like it. Sentiment, moving averages, Ichimoku cloud on the week. That's actually kind of boss. That's some good alpha. That's some good. That's some good. Okay, that's a good trend line. He sips the Coca-Cola. How's the volume on that music? I'm gonna turn it over to the chat here. Let me finish that. Tidy up. This could actually be a channel, couldn't it? She sips the Coca-Cola. That could be a channel. Our little channel doesn't really fit, but it's still, I think, pretty descriptive of price. I'll leave it here. What's up, Chris? Literally the mood you are right now. You're bullish. Let's go. Let's go, Chris. A man cut of my own cloth. The chat disagrees. 40% of us looking for lower. I don't think, I mean, I think that that is a reasonable stance. Here's something to keep in mind today, though. Coming into this year, there was huge. Do you guys remember the thumbnails, the titles? Huge expectation on the pro-crypto administration coming in. Remember that? How can things go wrong? For the first time ever, the biggest economy in the world, the country is going to welcome crypto in instead of fighting it actively. And I will admit, that has happened. It has really largely stopped fighting it. We see SEC close a lot of cases. It doesn't seem like there's any new cases really opened. So that was correct. But remember how people felt. What people said about price. It has to go up. And, I mean, there's other, it was going up. It's not totally crazy. But think about that sentiment and what they were saying. It was like, these bigger factors are so big that it has to go up. We are largely right now in the opposite. Everything is going down. Everything is looking down. It does not seem like there's any relief in the short term ahead of us. And you could argue, why would you bet up? Every macro factor right now is so bearish and so down. Just remember that. Remember how the opposite was true here as we are here. I think that there's some value there. I think there's something there. Most people are convinced that we have to go down farther, even in our chat, 40%-ish voting that way. Hell, they might be right. The same way I said, yeah, you're probably right. We are probably going to keep going up because of all these crazy factors. Markets get you like that. They catch you. They catch you. They catch you. Yeah. 78,548. Great place to close up today if we can. Daily support. We can start building. Ooh. RSI not pulling to new lows. Bull div forming. If we don't sell off enough to change that, which would be a crazy sell-off. We would probably have to go to see RSI trade down lower than March's low here. I think we would have to see sub 60. We'd have to see very low. So I'll take that. There's definitely some daily RSI forming. All right, sorry, I got distracted, my friends. Coming back. Looking good. Thank you, Sabrina. This shirt's actually way too tight now. My whole life, most of my adult life, I wore smalls. I know, right? And then I quit vaping in November, went to the gym, been going to the gym a ton, and now I think this is a medium, and like I'm bursting out of it. Bursting out. Thank you, Sabrina. What's up, Alex O? My guy, Alex O Crypto in the chat. Alex O, don't tell the other analysts this. #1 analyst in the Crown Crypto Premium Trading Group. You can go to joincrowncrypto.com. You can get a free week trial, and you will see Alex O giving exclusive trading instructional market update streams in the Discord there for that group multiple times a week. Joincrowncrypto.com. Check it out. It's not for everybody. It's for those looking to really invest in themselves, buckle down, and improve their game in investing and trading in the crypto space. And while you're at it, go ahead, subscribe to this man because he's there. Alex O Crypto, I saw you had like 700 watching your stream today, my friend. Hell yeah, you deserve it. You're doing great. What's up, Michael? Who else is here? What's up, Moggy? I see you're in the chat again, Moggy. Good to have you back. You were not around for a little bit there. Good to see you. 420 Blaze It, Ace of Hearts, my boys are always here. Good to see you. Alchemist, Ape, CBK, Wahoo, Chris Toff, Clever Custom Performance, Coca-Cola, Curb Shifter. What's 𝐂𝐈𝐆𝐍? I see you, man. You're always here too. Darren. Oh yeah, you wanted to look at USDT.D. We can take a look at that. What to do with a drunken sailor? Every time there's a sea shanty, I am forced to sing it. It's because I'm Irish. We'll look at this in a sec. Coca-Cola, Curb Shifter, I got you. David Brum, my friend. What's up, Dr. Crypto, DXB Crypto, FGB9, Fiber Splice, Foxy Thorny, Hugo, Infinite Team TA, Irvin Rock 69. Good to see you here, man. You're here constantly. I see that name almost every day I stream. Appreciate you. I thought it was a good idea. Janix, Jason Mayorga, Jennifer Moffat. How you doing, Jen? JCSGO, Jonathan Borajani, Josh Kennington, Chris Pax, another YouTuber. How you doing, Chris? Rough days for Doge. Maybe I'll take a look at Doge later. What's up, Quicker? Lance, Lasers Go Pew Pew. You were here in the beginning. Lee, back in the chat. What's up, Little Fox, MGTO by Logic, Michael Picanzo, Nickel 911, Mr. Days, Nate Bender, Next Car Auto. We have a lot of people here. Nicholas Perry, Nick Young, Nillen, Novocaine, One with Nature, Paper Beats Rock, FaZe, Philly Skills, Spaced, Sabrina in the house, Scott, Sergio, the Shadow Wolf Trader, Tillin. I know Pickle's here. I might have missed him. Wojak, Yobi. Who else is here? Good to see you, my friends. Spooky times. It's all going to be okay. I promise. I promise it will. You lurk. That's okay. You're allowed to look. Sandwich. What's up, Cats? I need a sandwich. What's up, Nicholas? I said your name. That's right. Give me hope. I will try, Armin. I will try, my friend. I will try to give you hope. There is hope. Retail wants a lower price. I don't know, man. Retail hates lower prices. Did I do nicotine patches when I quit vaping? No, Jonathan. I did no nicotine. I honestly, I don't think there is anything that will help you quit nicotine that has nicotine in it. It was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, but it actually goes away. I wasn't convinced that it ever would actually go away. I no longer crave nicotine. I haven't had like a moment in a long time now, actually. Seeing people vape doesn't do anything. Drinking, being out doesn't do anything. I don't know. I think you really just got to go cold turkey. You got to reach the point where you just want to quit. That's it. There's nothing else to it. You just have to be at the point where you can say, I don't get anything from this. When you first start smoking, you get a little buzz, you feel a little good or something, you feel a little sick, but you don't hate it. And that goes away at some point, and eventually it does nothing. The problem is that it does nothing. You feel nothing. You still kind of feel sick sometimes, but you just do it to do it. And eventually you can get to the point where you can acknowledge that and say, this is not There's nothing positive about this. I'm only doing it because I'm addicted to it, and I'm gonna stop. I wish that was the hardest part. That's the easiest part of it. But that's the only thing I think that actually works. Is you just have to be able to get to that point where you say this doesn't do anything for me. Got his little bro shirt on, right? That's what it feels like, man. I'm busting out. You're a vapor and you want to quit? Dude, I vaped for 10 years, man. You're not alone. Hardest thing I ever did, dude. I was just hitting it all day. It's just like from the moment I woke up, I'd wake up, I'd hit it. I'd hit it all day. I'd hit it literally all day till I went to bed. I'd be in bed hitting it. The last thing I'd do before I go to bed is hit it and then try to sleep. It's not a good way to sleep. I was just addicted, man. There's a lot of stigma behind it. You just need to be... I get people when you meet people like who are like heroin addicts or ex-heroin addicts, and they're like, the first thing they say to you is, you know, I was an addict that quit or something. And I always thought that was weird, but I get it. I get it now. I don't need to tell everyone that I meet that, but I get it because, man, well, you'll see. I'll send my powers out to everyone out there trying to quit. It just has to be the time for you, man. Nothing else is going to work. I'm addicted to opium and I'm never going to quit it. The flavor is the hardest part. I thought that too, man, but it really isn't. And honestly, once you quit, you're like, those flavors sucked. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought they were good. I think that could help. That could help, though. Switch to a flavor you hate. At least then you won't kind of mindlessly do it as much. You got to want to quit no other way, dude. That's it. You have to want to, and you have to be able to admit it, acknowledge it, face it, and say, you know, people say this is so hard. They say you can't do it, but you can. You're not, that's the thing, is the only way to quit, and I'll move on after this. The only way to quit is to be able to acknowledge that you're not giving anything up. You're not sacrificing anything. You're not stopping yourself. You're not depriving yourself of anything because there's no value. It doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't make you feel good. You just do it because you do it. That's it. I'll move on. Never touched nicotine in your life? 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐍 good. More of a 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐍 guy. You can do anything you want if you put your mind to it. I agree. I agree. All right, let's take a look at USDT.D for a sec here. I have, for a long time, had a projected path on this. You saw that pulled up here behind me. Basically, against all odds, we called a local top back here. This is, again, you know what, man? August 5th, here's another freaking, like, another similarity. You have this high wick. You fell down. You have a high wick here today. Against all odds, we predicted this would not only sell off and break this trend, because back at the time, people were like, Tom, what about this uptrend? I said, nah, man, I think this is going to break. And I said, not only do I think that this will break, I think we will break the greater trend below. That's exactly what happened here. USDT.D has been a pretty good guide. I'll say pretty good guide. Or the projection, I guess, has been a good projection as a guide. I'm looking for this still. This is our original kind of analysis. I have not really modified it at all since we placed it all the way back in mid-24. I'm looking for a lower high here. And what's crazy is the timing is not far off. Look at this. It's like March. Timing's not far off. But that's really not it. It's not over, even if we do see this sell-off again. I'm looking for one more kind of blip here in the summer. Wow, in the summer of this year, August. Before we peak out all-time high and what? Probably end up coming up. Probably end up moving into bear market highs for dominance. I think this is still the correct analysis. Let's take a look. No real divergence on the day. Bear div painting here, provided it does not trade higher than last year in August, which I don't think it will. Bear div RSI higher than back in August, despite price being lower. Price being lower, it's not really a price. Bear div on the week, that's a good sign. I'll take it. Bear div on the month, that's what's interesting. We have some bear div on the week for Bitcoin, but we don't have it on the month. Here we do have it on the month for dominance. I think that lines up. I think that plays, right? That's what we're looking for. Maybe we're finding resistance here. Looking to top out now. Maybe looking to top out, I don't know, at some point this month. monthly resistance, heading back down. When this is moving up, the market is bearish or selling off. When it's moving down, usually bullish, usually moving up. I like how this is really just followed the course, man. Looking for 3 lower highs and the run at the end of the year. Gonna be following that. Any update here? Not really. Dominance chart with all the stable coins. That is. Oh wait, that's USDT.D. You're right. That is not all of them. I could find it. I could, you know, put it up. Here's the thing. I doubt it would be very valuable. You know, let's take a second here. Let's take a second. This is a little teachable moment. I doubt it would have much value outside of this chart, mostly because USDT just is like, it's like the Bitcoin of the stable coins, right? It's like all of the market. There are other stable coins, but their total market caps are not so huge. Kind of in addition to that, let me see. I'm going to look it up here just so I have an idea of kind of the ratio. USDC 60 billion. Okay. Tether 144. All right. So there's more of an argument than I was thinking. I didn't realize USDC had gotten so big. I would assume, and we can look at it. I wasn't going to because I thought that they were much farther apart in size. I thought they were much farther apart in size. Market cap dominance? What? I thought they were much farther apart, so I didn't think there would really be a point of doing it. Because I would assume that they kind of move together anyway. But all right, this could be worth it. Give me a sec. Okay. I bet it looks very similar. All right, that's pretty cool. I think I might have messed something up here, though. Let's see. Maybe not. Interesting, interesting. That might tell a different story. I'm going to get rid of this crypto cap thing. Let's see if this works. All right, this is an interesting story. Damn. Good eyes, everybody. So again, this still isn't all the stable coins. This is just the 2 biggest. How much farther down do we have to get to the next one? 8 billion USDS. I don't know what that is. I would never touch that. What is USDS? I would never touch whatever that is. You do not need to take... The last thing I think that makes sense is to seek out risk via stable coins. Where is DAI? Did DAI really fall that far? DAI only 3 billion now. This could be interesting. Nah, they don't even have USDS. This is interesting because it does tell a different story. We're at a higher high. I would not have expected that. I would not have expected that. Wow. I have to go back to the drawing board. It's only slightly higher. And USDC, I would say, is valid. It's equally valid here. Like if we were incorporating kind of like some things that have depegged in the past, like I don't think that data would be valuable, but this is. We're at a higher high. Spicy. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Makes me very uncomfortable. I was very comfortable in my lower high of USDT.D. Is it time to panic, chat? No. Nah, probably not. 55, 60. USDC just hit an all-time high in market cap February, over the last month. That's why it's different. That's what it's from. We've identified the culprit here. If you look at USDT's market cap, it's definitely a different story. USDT 83 broke its all-time high May of last year and has only trended up. Huh. So USDC has added 5 billion since February. Yet the market's only gone down. That explains the chart. I feel sussy, chat. Something suspicious about it. Something weird about it. Doesn't add up. It's like Sailor buying all this Bitcoin and price doesn't go up. Something's weird about it. Something's off. Something weird. Retrader, wherever it goes. What's up, Nicholas? How you doing, my friend? What's up, Paul Wood? Is it time to panic? No. It's never time to panic. The more panic you feel, the closer to the bottom it is. That's science. At the end of the day, that's just science. Honestly, fam. Honestly. You know though, if I were to answer this question, I would say yes. Even if the bottom or the absolute lowest point isn't in, I think the worst is over. I do. We really haven't even gone that much lower than like back in March. We did break the low, so it is a significant move. Like this whole period while we were kind of lower high, dicking around sideways, nothing had happened. We did today break that low, so this is a real move. It does impact the chart. I like the bottom wick. I hope today actually settles up a little bit higher. I hope it settles 75 or above. I think that will put us in a good position for tomorrow. Even if it just closes here is fine. Broke market structure, but we're still like above March's high. This retracement still smaller than last year's. We have a lot of similar signals to last year in August at the bottom. I would assume we are closer to the bottom than we are the top at this point. I still think we have all-time highs coming this year. Dixie. Stocks, dude, look at this. All that volatility now straight sideways. Look at the VIX. Bonkers. What will tomorrow bring? I don't know, man. Yeah, good thing you wore brown pants. Oh, yeah. True. Invest in brown pants going forward. Brown and yellow pants. We need to go lower. We could. Mr. F, you're holding USDC. Yeah, Ultra CDP, the OTC buys and the sells on the open market. I've been thinking about this for a while, this concept. And I don't really have the answer. There's no way to prevent it. You can't possibly prevent it from happening. I'm not really sure. I think at the end of the day, the market should punish that behavior, right? Because if you needed to buy it, OTC because there wasn't liquidity on exchange, there's likely not liquidity on exchange to sell. And so you get a lower price. And so over time, that should balance it out, right? That should balance out and punish those actors. I don't know. There's nothing that exchanges can do or we can do. I don't know, man. Dip to 70, that moon could be. Yeah, I mean, here we are, right? Here we are. This is it. Right here is March of last year's all-time high, right here. We barely missed it. What's the volume looking like on Coinbase? Is this Coinbase? I gotta double check. Coinbase. Weird. Very weird. Volume was here instead of here. What? I guess it's because we didn't break this. If we had done that, probably would have seen that spike. Was there even volume when we broke the range? I don't know. Not really. Volume on Coinbase has been very odd. Just odd over the last few years. You can see big volume here, but it was mostly on the way up from this low. Kind of matching this candle here. Maybe we need a moving average for the volume. Okay. That gives us like a little bit better of a picture, but at the same time, still much more volume here. It's not a comfortable feeling. That's pretty big on the 4-hour. You go out to like the 12 or the day and it's like not really that much. Weird. Weird. No highs in volume at all. Though, I mean, again, we're looking at Coinbase and that doesn't describe, doesn't show us all the volume. And as other exchanges gain more share of the market, which I believe has happened over the last few years, Coinbase may be less and less relevant when it comes to volume specifically, even though it is, I think it's still #1 spot market. Real spot market. Full moon this weekend. Let's go. Let's go. By the way, guys, if you have not hit the like button or subscribed, please do that. Please hit the like button right now. The more you guys engage with the live stream, and the like button can be a big part of that, the more YouTube shows the stream to new people, and that's how we grow. We're here live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at around 1 p.m. East. You can jump in our free Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown. You'll find non-KYC exchange links in the video description below, and some KYC'd ones. Sign up using those links, help support the stream. Check out joincrowncrypto.com, our new group. Lots of exclusive content there. You get a free week trial, check it out. Here's the show. Wonder if anything's happened since we started streaming live. Any world-changing events? Do we ever hear anything about the Fed meeting? There's a Fed meeting, an emergency Fed meeting, 11:30. I don't see any. I don't think they made a statement or anything. Not bad. Habits lead to you. Not a lot going on this month in the world of data. No FOMC this month, I know. God, our channel hurts every time. Every month there's not an FOMC, our channel hurts. Big part of our channel's views and traffic. Employment coming up Thursday. Nothing tomorrow. Ooh, Wednesday. Here it is. Here she blows. I was hoping for this. On Wednesday, we have our FOMC minutes. So it is not an FOMC. Unfortunately, I wish it was. But it is where we get kind of the behind the scenes info. The discussions about what they were thinking, what kind of factors they were looking at in the FOMC. And so that'll be Wednesday of this. Nice. Wednesday in 2 days. I should schedule that. What time of the minutes? 2 p.m. 1:30. All right, I'll schedule that. Nice, nice. We won't miss that. You better be here Wednesday, 2 days from now. Those are spicy-ish. Spice adjacent. Not as spicy as today. Spice adjacent. What alerts went off? The answer is all of the alerts went off. Every alert I've ever set basically went off today. No. Oh, Bitcoin SP. Bitcoin was breaking out against the stock market on Friday. Now kind of returned to its lows, but I think that's still looking good. I still think that Bitcoin's going to break out against the stock market. Let me see. Let me just tab through these quick. Tesla. Oh, wow. Tesla broke its low. That's bad news, bears. That's bad news, bears. Damn. Tesla traded below 215. Yikes. Litecoin. Oh, no. Litecoin. Please, no. Please, no, Litecoin. Litecoin looking for that death cross coming up. Litecoin was looking so strong and then rejected from the 200s. Back to crap town. Solana broke 100. Oh boy, that is a huge market structure. Huge break of market structure. Holy crap. August's low taken out at 109. God, we got to pray the lows are in. Pray the lows in. XRP holding on to the 200-day, which is nice. Been waiting for this to break. Testing support over and over and over again. Finally broke down to 162. Wow. So much damage today. Actually, let me go back here. Doge breaking low. Yeesh. Down to 12.8 cents. MATIC, I'm sure, is nuked because MATIC is just, yeah, been in Goblin Town, bro. Down to 15 cents. MATIC doesn't even have support till like 5 cents. Good luck, MATIC. Stewie. Saw people shilling this crap. What's Trump coin at? Trump coin hit 718. All right, we are now down over 90% from the high. Can we call this a rug yet? Are people okay with calling that a rug yet? It's NVIDIA. NVIDIA new lows. NVIDIA breaking August lows. Wow, a lot of charts breaking August 5th low. Not good. Oh, ADA. Why is it showing market cap first? Actually, here's an interesting thought here. Cardano, surprisingly, better off than a lot of these coins. I would not have guessed this for today. February's low defended here so far. 51 cents. That didn't break. Remember, we saw a lot of charts break this low. ADA did not. Death cross is above it. To see it return to 73 cents would not be crazy to me. What else am I missing? Solana, Dogecoin, TRON. TRON now at the 9th spot. I've been saying this is a sleeper for a very long time. TRON barely even noticing this sell-off. Bro. TRON not even breaking March's low here. Like I said, another higher low. That's kind of crazy. Same with BNB, the two sleeper calls. Both of them holding the lows. Wow. Although this looks much worse. BNB looks much saggier, I think. Lower highs. Your lows are just barely coming up. Oof. Man. Man. Daily's back to green, baby. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, take a deep breath today, relax, never make trading decisions in panic, never make them in the moment. Charts will be here tomorrow. I know it feels like I know it feels like it won't be, but it will be. Eric Trump. Did you thank Eric Trump even once? Even once? For him telling you to buy Ethereum and to thank him later. Did you remember to thank him later when you followed his financial advice? Which was right here. Was it right here? It was like right here. Is it right here? I think it's March 3rd. Right here. Did you follow that financial advice? Did you thank him later after it fell almost 50%? Did you thank him even once? That's why we're in a bear market, because you're not even thanking him. Don't you remember to thank him? That's why. How's Crown Coin doing? God knows. Hopefully, terribly. 𝐂𝐴LCHEMIST, that he did. Trump rugged everything. He kind of did. Kind of rugged. Someone said, like, in the Discord earlier that, like, he crashed the U.S. economy. And I said, no. Crashed the global economy, it seems. Not just the U.S. Like, it's not just the U.S. It's like everything. Wild. Oh, no. Eric Trump said to buy XRP. No, he didn't. I hope he did. Did he really? He should probably just stop telling people to buy stuff. Maybe that's a reasonable thought. Just like, don't tell people to buy stuff. Just like, don't do it. Like, guy who just started crypto like a year ago, Eric Trump, like, yeah. Do we need to hit the previous all-time high to flip it to support? No, we don't have to. We don't have to. I think it's reasonable. I mean, at this point, we were within 1% of it. It's reasonable. We did see this move at the last sell-off that has a lot of similarities to today. We did see a perfect test of that previous high before moving higher. So it would line up. Yeah, it's on the table for sure. For sure. Oh, man. All right, boys and girls. We're going to be live Wednesday. Maybe we'll be live again today. Who knows? When it gets spicy, I appreciate you all tuning in. Join our Discord. It's free. www.discord.gg/TomCrown. If you sign up with any of the links in the video description below, you will get exclusive VIP access in that Discord. If you're looking to invest in yourself this year, if you're having trouble, and I think at this time, I'd imagine most people are having a little trouble investing in trading, join our group. Go to joincrowncrypto.com, get a free week trial, check it out. There's exclusive live streams in there almost every day. All kinds of great content, a full course. Really the difference is that you get a small group kind of setting, and that's just much more conducive to learning. You get to ask questions in real time with your voice. It's a great value. I would not put it out there if it wasn't. That's it. I'm going to catch you cats Wednesday for the FOMC minutes. I'll see you in the Discord. Make sure you like and subscribe. It's going to be okay, fam. I promise you. Take a break. Don't feel bad if you don't think you can handle it right now. If you feel overwhelmed, it's okay. We're all overwhelmed. We've been through this before. We've been through much worse in crypto. You can lean on our confidence, on our faith. We've been through worse. We'll make it through this. I promise. Take a break. It's not weakness. It's strength sometimes to take a break when you need one. Disconnect, come back. We'll be here. Charts will be here. Make sure you come back to our channel, of course. It's going to be all right. I love you all. Be safe. Don't check your portfolios today. Crown out.